Give me the tea. What's the drama? What's happening in your life? I want to know.
Story time on how I found out the guy that I was dating was homeless. I can't even believe I fucking said that out loud. I can't believe I'm even saying this story. How embarrassing. I mean, it's not embarrassing. It's just a fucking story. Like, I'm sure there's more of us out there. And in my defense, he was like homeless adjacent. He wasn't like 100% homeless all the time. Basically, he was the first guy that I matched with after leaving after leaving my husband. We matched on Bumble. And what's so funny, this was in like 2019. Well, it's not funny, but what's so interesting, actually, it's not. You guys are so fucking lucky. Like, if you are young and dating in like TikTok world, a world where people talk about their dating history, their dating stories, signs, warning signs, you're so lucky, because I didn't have that. I didn't have that in 2019. So I didn't know that I was getting loved bomb. I didn't know that these were weird signs to look out for. Like, my gut knew once I go through the story, there were little signs, but like, you were still ignoring them because they were saying sweet nothings to you. You know what I mean? He was the first guy that I matched with on Bumble. First guy I dated after my separation from my ex-husband. And it started off great. We matched on Bumble immediately. After a few exchanges, we exchanged numbers. He's like texting me all the time. We are talking a lot on the phone. And again, I'm in this place where I'm feeling a little bit insecure because, yeah, ultimately I got out of that separation with my husband strongly. And I moved, like, you know, I went through this feeling very strong. But yeah, getting cheated on leaves you feeling extremely insecure. Like, even though you know that it wasn't your fault that this happened, like, I went to therapy, I know it's not my fault that this happened, but there's still those lingering thoughts, like, am I not good enough? Am I not pretty enough? Am I not all of these things? So imagine you just go through this, and now there's this person who's like paying you all this attention, like giving you so many compliments, wanting to know more about you, asking you all these questions, staying on your phone like 24/8. Like, current Vanessa would be like, boy, you doing too much. But insecure Vanessa was like, oh my God, somebody likes me, you know? So we're texting all the time. We're calling each other. We're talking a lot, even before our first date. I wish I could remember our first date, because I literally do not. That wasn't the traumatizing part, right? Like I said in my other story, the trauma is what stays with you. But damn, I really want to remember our first date. I don't know what it was. I really don't. Anyway, so again, talking all the time, blah, 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 blah. Where things started to arise, or where my suspicion started to arise, is when, like, okay, we're already dating. He's come to my place. He stayed at my place. And I thought it was super weird that he had hella clothes in his car. I Oh, actually, I want to backtrack because I need to backtrack. But this is already a 4-minute video, so I got to do it part 2. Okay, so again, backstory. We're talking a lot. So I know a lot of information about this guy. And actually now I remember what our first date was, and I'm going to get to it. I know a lot of information about this guy because we're texting a lot. We're talking and texting a lot before this first date. Like, has 2 kids. He was married. He's divorced. And I'm like, oh my God, like, I was married. I'm going through a divorce. I have 2 kids. So there's like this connection building, right? Like, we're sharing like these similarities. Like, we can relate on certain things because of what our backgrounds are, yada, yada, yada. He's telling me he has this job, this really high paying job, and like, whatever. He tells me that he has, this is relevant. He tells me that he has like an all blacked out Honda and like an all black Range Rover, some type of car. I don't know. But like, these cars, which doesn't even matter to me. Like, I feel like that's super cringe to talk about. Like, thinking about it now, that's like so cringe. I definitely thought that was cringe too, but whatever. I was kind of enamored with all this attention, right? He was fucking sending me poems. He was sending me songs like, oh, like this song like reminds me of you, or this is how I feel about you. And like, current Vanessa, cringe, 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 cringe. Ew, ew, ew. I was eating that shit up. I'm not even gonna lie. I was eating that shit up. But now, like, I don't know, like a guy sending me a song that I'm like barely dating, that I haven't even met, like, that's a fucking red flag. You guys, don't eat it up. Don't be like me. Don't eat that shit up. Anyway, so he's telling me all this stuff. He's telling me that he has like this great high paying job, blah, 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 blah. Again, also cringe. Do not talk about like your high paying job. I don't know. It's just like ill. Again, we live and we learn. We listen and we don't judge. Don't fucking judge me. I'm judging myself. We go on the date. We meet in the city. I remember that. I take an Uber to the city. We meet in the city. And we go have tacos. And after that, we were like, oh, let's go have more drinks, whatever. And he's driving, so he drives us, but the car that we get into is not the car that he told me about. It's not the two cars that he mentioned. It's a fucking Kia, a blacked out Kia Soul. It's not even blacked out, it's just a black Kia Soul. And I'm like, what is this? That should have been 100% like flag, 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 get out, get out, get out, get out, get out. But of course, it wasn't. He proceeds to tell me that this is the car that he uses to drive for Uber. To drive for Uber. You know what's hella funny about this? This is the first guy that I went on a date with. The first guy that I hooked up with after leaving my ex-husband was an Uber driver. That's a different story for a different day. It was like literally my Uber driver. Anyway. So we get into this fucking Kia Soul. We go out to have more drinks. It's the end of the night. He comes to my place. He stays the night. Do not do that. Do not take a man to your place after the first fucking date, after having drinks. Don't do that. Don't get drunk to the point where you don't even know what's going on. Like, don't do that on a date. Like, do not do that. Again, don't let a man into your space immediately after the first date. Like, get to know him, get to trust him. Like, I don't know what I was thinking. I wasn't thinking. I was thinking, oh my God, this guy likes me. I'm like so insecure. And he's probably fucking recognizing that as well. Or actually, no, he was probably homeless and needed a place to fucking stay. So he was going to do everything possible to try to secure that. Anyway, this is already 4 minutes. I got to wrap it up. I got to do a part 3. Because yes, more red flags arise. Okay, part 3. Sorry, I'm at work and now I'm on my lunch break. So I got time. So he's got an in. He is going to do everything possible to make sure that we stay on good terms. So he got a place to stay. You know what I mean? He, again, Ubers. He has a job, but he Ubers. He also would always tell me like, oh yeah, I come from money. My parents have a lot of money. So I work in San Francisco at the time that this was all going on. And again, apparently his job gave him a bunch of free time. He was Ubering all the time. He was always in the city. He was always sending me food at work. He was always sending me flowers. Great. You know, the first couple of times I'm like, oh my God, I'm getting flowers. I think after our first date, he sent me flowers. I'm just like, oh my God, he's sending me flowers. Oh my God, he sent me lunch. And then it was just like too much. I sound so ungrateful, but it was so much to the point where I had to be like, can you stop sending me food at work? Like, I want to decide what I want to eat at work. Like, you're taking away that decision from me by just sending me whatever you think I want to eat that day. Like, I'm not trying to have fucking dim sum at 12 o'clock. That's not even fresh because you DoorDashed it. You know what I mean? Like, I sound so ungrateful, but like at some point it's just like, stop. You're doing too much. I want my freedom of choice. Like, freedom is, in general, is like super important to me. And when someone's like taking away my freedom to choose, I don't like that. Anyway, so again, he's doing all this stuff. He's staying at my house. He ended up changing his kid's schedule to match my kid's schedule. So now, like, every time he doesn't have his kids, I don't have my kids. So we're hanging out like a little bit more. And even on nights that we don't, because it's like, oh, not too much. You can't stay here all the time. You know what I mean? Nights he wasn't at my place, he would FaceTime me. And I just thought it was super weird that he was always like, oh, I'm just leaving Target. He's like FaceTiming me in his car. Like, I'm at home. Why aren't you at home? It's 10 o'clock right now. Why aren't you at home? And it was always just like, oh, I just was at Target. I figured I'd call you. I don't want to drive and FaceTime at the same time. I don't know. Like, that's super weird, right? Like, not me burping. Sorry, I'm on my lunch and I'm also eating. But that's super weird. Like, I was already starting to like have suspicions. Like, okay, super weird. He told me he has a job and he drives for Uber. Super weird. He told me that, which like people do, you have multiple streams of income, but bro, you're always driving for fucking Uber. Like, you don't ever have to go into the office. I don't know. So again, we're always FaceTiming. He's always somewhere weird. He told me that he shared a space. With roommates. So him and his two kids had a room. They rented a room in a house with other roommates. I was like, okay, I get it. But also, as a parent with two kids myself, like, I would never put my kids in that situation. But again, I'm not judging you. Like, if that's your situation, then that's your situation. I'm not judging you. Like, we're still cool. I still like hanging out with you. It's weird, but I get it. People got to do what they got to do, you know? It's like, that's in my head now. You have roommates, right? Occasionally he would FaceTime me when he did have his kids, so I would see him in a room, in a space. But every time he didn't have his kids, it was always at a parking lot, at a park, in his car. Like, I don't know. It just, like, my gut was screaming, even though I was like kind of ignoring it. So then one day he was at my job. My job had a basketball court. One day he was at my job. My job had a basketball court. And in order to get a basketball, you had to leave your ID with the front desk. So I went to go check on him. But before I went to go check on him, I was like, oh, let me see his ID. Again, we used to talk a lot. We talked a lot. We related about a lot of things. He told me he doesn't have a middle name. We related on it because I don't have a middle name. So I'm like, oh my God, that's crazy. Like, everybody always has middle names. I don't have a middle name. It's crazy that you don't have a middle name, especially because you're a white guy. I feel like white people always have middle names. No shade to white people. Anyway, I look at his ID and his fucking ID had a middle name. Why would he lie and say he doesn't have a middle name? Anyways, I got to do another part because it's already 5 minutes. It's going to take forever to upload. So I'm going to get to that red flag. Stay tuned. Okay, I'm getting ready to wrap up this story. Anyway, thank you for being patient with me. I appreciate you. Even though you're saying you're impatient, but everybody, I'm talking to everybody. Thank you for being patient with me. I like to ramble. I love to make a short story long. I love to go on little tangents. I love to get distracted. Anyway, any motherfucking way. So I find out that he has a fucking middle name. So I go to the basketball court. I'm like, why did you tell me that you didn't have a middle name, but you clearly have one on your ID? I brought his fucking ID to him. And he's like, oh, can we go talk somewhere? I'm like, sure. Fucking sure. So we go get coffee and he starts to fucking tell me the reason why he didn't want to tell me that he had a middle name, because he didn't want me to Google search him. I still Googled searched him. And like, if you are a single woman, Google search everybody you go on a date with. Look up their first and last name, search them on True fucking People Search. His number didn't come up on True People Search, so I couldn't find that much information. But I put everybody's fucking phone number in True People Search. True, or is it True People Search? Find People? I don't know. You could just put someone's number and it gives you all their information. One time I found out a guy was lying about his age on Bumble because it told me his fucking age. He was trying to pass off as being younger. He ended up being in his 40s. Like, and it's like, bro, it's okay. Like, I'm in my 30s. Like, be old. It's fine. Anyway, There I go, going off on a tangent. So he's like, I didn't want you to Google my name, because he got into some legal trouble for like running a gambling Ponzi scheme, essentially, like pyramid scheme, Ponzi scheme, I don't know. And he's like, people are after me and blah, 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 blah. But of course, his family has money and he got him out of it. They got him out of it or whatever. Like his dad's a lawyer, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, dang, that's fucking crazy. I ended up Googling it. I Googled the whole story. I'm not going to put all his business on blast, but yeah, it was fucking true. But I was still a fucking pendeja. I was still stupid. I was still flattered, like, because this man is paying attention to me. You know, I'm still healing. I'm still like fighting my own insecurities. So I'm like, again, I won't judge you. It's okay. People do fucked up shit. Everyone is worth being forgiven. Lord. Again, don't judge me. We listen and we don't judge. I'm already judging myself. So I find that out, and yes, although we still keep talking, we still keep dating, my guard is now a little bit up, right? Now I'm really watching how he moves. Now I'm putting all these things together, like, why is he driving for Uber all the time? Why is he never at work? Anyways, turns out he got like laid off, let go, got a severance, and now he's just driving for Uber until he gets another job. So like now my patience is like running low. It's running thin. It's running out. So long story short, let's not do another part. One night we were FaceTiming. I might do another part because it's already getting into 4 minutes. One night we were FaceTiming and he was cooking. He was with his kids. It was a day he was with his kids, so he was at home. One night he was cooking and we were FaceTiming me. And I just noticed something. It was a piece of decor. I noticed a piece of decor that I was like, that just doesn't seem like it would be there if you were like a guy living in this like weird bachelor pad. It was just a very specific piece of decor. I'm going to go to a fifth and final fucking part and be done with this story so I can tell you what piece of decor it was that my eyes, my flags, my radar was like, alert, 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 abort, abort, abort. Okay, this should be the final part. So go to part 3 if you didn't watch, or no, part 4 if you didn't watch part 4, because I'm basically starting from there. So the fucking piece of decor that set off my little radars was a salt and pepper shaker. It was a fucking salt and pepper shaker, but like the Crate and Barrel kind, or like the fancy kind that are like marble and you have to sprinkle the salt like that and sprinkle the pepper like that. That's what set me off, because I was like, you know what? That is like only a house with the woman's touch would have that. Like not a bachelor pad with a bunch of dudes sharing a space. Like it just wouldn't happen. Like it just wouldn't happen. So then my mind is like reeling and dealing and wheeling around in its head. And I was like, okay, that doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense that he has really nice lamps. It doesn't make sense that he has like these like mirrored side tables. Like I'm just like, I don't know, in my maybe if you are a guy out there who has this stuff, who lives in a bachelor pad and is like has roommates with other dudes, maybe you let me know. But in my head, it didn't make sense. And I'm like, this feels like there's a woman's touch. Like there's a woman's touch happening in this house. Why? So I confronted him. I don't think it was that day that he was FaceTiming me. It may have been the next day. It was like after my mind was like moving and grooving. I was like, hey, I just noticed something. Like something's on my mind. Like I noticed a few things and I just want to bring them up to you. And I start telling him, like, it just doesn't make sense to me that this is the decoration in your house. So he fucking admits it. So he admits that he is obviously divorced, separated from his wife. They have 2 kids, but what they have been doing, which again, no judgment, right? But don't try to play it off like something else. I don't know. What they've been doing is basically when it's his turn with the kids, he lives in the apartment. When it's her turn with the kids, she lives in the apartment. And when he's not with the kids, he's living in his car. That's it. That's the story. And like, who knows, right? Maybe he wasn't living in his car. Maybe he was going over there when he didn't have a place to go, but he swore he was like living in his car or living out of hotels. Or fuck, staying at my place, apparently. You know what I mean? And I was just like, dang, that's crazy. That's insane. But it makes sense. Like, it makes sense why he has all this stuff in his car. It makes sense. I still didn't understand the car situation, why he was driving the Kia. Like, I ended up seeing one of the cars, the Honda Civic. But it made sense. He had a bunch of clothes. He had his toothbrush. He was living in his car when he wasn't, living at home with his kids, when it was his turn with the kids. Like, again, obviously not an ideal living situation if you're trying to date, but be honest, be upfront. Like, don't lie about these things, or don't date if that's the situation that you're in, because it's not fair to the person that you're dating. Like, if that's the situation that you're in, that's the situation that you're in. But also, like, know that not everybody is willing to put up with that type of stuff. Lucky for him, I was like, oh, okay, maybe you should get your own place. He ended up getting his own place. I still was talking to him, but I was like, this is too much. I kind of just ended it slowly distancing myself from him. And yeah, then COVID happened. Thank God I got out of that situation before COVID. So yeah, the nail in the coffin was the salt and pepper shaker. The salt and pepper shaker. So yeah, that's how I found out he was unhoused adjacent, homeless adjacent, right? Like, he was only unhoused 50% of the time. But again, if that's your situation, then that's your situation. But be honest. Don't lie. I appreciate him for like admitting the truth when I confronted him. Like, I feel like that's what kind of kept me there and kept me going. And I also tell people this all the time. Like, for some reason, a lot of my dating history, I have more stories like this where it's just like, I feel like I get put in these men's path in life for them to, I don't know, just like realize more about themselves. And I never get hurt. Like, I'm not hurt. I'm not sad. I'm like very understanding, and maybe like they need that type of person in their life. And I don't know. But yeah, that was it. That's my story. Thanks for watching. Sorry if I rambled and went on for too long, but yeah, that was it. And moral of the story is just be wary. Trust your gut. Address things when they come up. Don't ignore any red flags or signs that something isn't right. And address them right away. Again, I felt like, yeah, it was a crappy, weird situation that I was in, but it taught me a lot of things, like a lot of things to look out for, a lot of things to not put up with, a lot. So I gotta appreciate that,